Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Burns.
Hi. Hello, my name is Dr. Kristy Burns. My son is a third grade student who needs your help to have recess every day. District-wide, recess is under school-based management. This means that, this may have worked 20 years ago, but today, this means that our kids are not getting recess. This is a district-wide problem that needs a district-wide solution. That is why I'm speaking to you. We need your help. Recess is defined by the American Academy of Pediatrics as regularly scheduled periods within the elementary school day for unstructured physical activity and play. The key to recess is the word unstructured. This means that children are allowed time to choose what they want to do when they play. The definition of recess for child psychologists and pediatricians always comes down to unstructured play. Recess is not physical education. PE is a class. It is structured. Recess is not brain breaks where kids are directed to stand up and stretch or jump. Recess is not working in groups instead of seated lectures. And recess is not changing classrooms or walking to lunch. It is critical to understand that to get the brain benefits of recess, that it has to be unstructured play. There isn't any confusion amongst the experts. I was born and raised here, and I have a doctorate in chemistry and biochemistry from Georgia Tech. And I am telling you, as a scientist, that recess is one of the rare topics in which all of the studies agree. Let me stress that. The research from doctors, psychologists, and scientists all support recess. Recess is critical to a child's social and emotional growth. Recess teaches all kinds of skills: communication, negotiation, cooperation, sharing, problem solving, self-control, and grit. Today's practice of bell-to-bell teaching leads to a grueling schedule where kids are on task for 6 hours a day. To work that hard, we need to give them recess. Otherwise, we're ignoring how the brain works. Learning occurs in about an hour and a half chunks. After that, the brain needs a break before it can learn anymore. During recess, the brain is actually recycling the chemicals needed for more learning, and it's moving all that new information into long-term memory. If you want to get these kids to learn, and you want to get them to test better, you need to give them recess. I understand working hard and under stress. When I worked at DuPont, I worked with the military to design enzymes that destroyed chemical warfare agents. At DuPont, we were encouraged to take breaks, to release stress, and promote higher-level critical thinking. At the very least, our children also deserve the same respect. The county-wide policy of school-based management has failed. Leaving recess to the teacher's discretion without giving them time in their schedule is a false choice. We must make time for recess. It is time that this school board step up and institute a district-wide 30-minute everyday recess policy. Our children deserve no less.
Dr. Tom, would you wait just a moment? Dr. Mark Carlson.
Oh, is he next?
Yes, sir. No, you're next. No, you're next. He's after you. We've made you come up twice, so it's your turn, Dr. Carlson.
All right. I'm Dr. Tom Carlson. I'm a developmental behavioral pediatrician in Mount Dora. I've been in Lake County since in pediatrics in Lake County since 1980 and Lake County since 1974. And I want to be unemotional. Although I want to go back to what I call the wisdom of the ages, the Psalms and the Proverbs and all that. The earliest I found printed in this was 1659, and the saying is, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay? And most of us have heard that before. I have here, and I'm just going to read excerpts, a policy statement from the American Academy of Pediatrics called The Crucial Role of Recess in School. Okay, and this is not Proverbs. There are more pages of references here than there are pages of opinion. Okay, the Academy of Pediatrics believes that recess is a crucial and necessary component of a child's development, and as such it should not be withheld for punitive or academic reasons. After recess, students are more attentive and better able to perform cognitively. In addition, recess helps young children to develop social skills. Now, this is primarily aimed at grade school, elementary school. Optimal cognitive processing in a child necessitates a period of interruption after a period of concentrated instruction. The benefits of these interruptions are best served by unstructured breaks. Several studies demonstrate that recess, whether performed indoors or outdoors, made children more attentive and more productive in the classroom. A student's ability to refocus cognitively was shown to be stimulated more by the break from the classroom than the mode of activity that occurred during that break. Recess promotes social and emotional learning and development for children by offering them a time to engage in peer interactions in which they practice and role play essential for social skills. This type of activity under adult supervision extends teaching in the classroom to augment the school's social climate. Through play at recess, children learn valuable communication skills, including negotiation, cooperation, sharing, and problem solving, as well as coping skills such as perseverance and self-control. The current concept of structured recess entirely sacrifices the notion of recess as an unstructured but supervised break that belongs to the child. Recess varies widely. This says from 20 to 60 minutes per day. We're down to 0 minutes in some schools. In other countries such as Japan, the primary school-age children have a 10 to 15 minute break every hour. And these kids are learning pretty well in Japan, okay? Their studies reflect that attention spans begin to wane after 40 to 50 minutes of intense instruction. I have copies of this entire report for the school board members if you'd like it.
Yes, sir, we would. If you would bring them down to Ms. Challenger, she'll pass them out to us.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Mark Carlson, after you, I have a couple of announcements I need to make, so if you'll go right ahead.
Sure. Good evening. My name is Dr. Mark Carlson. I'm a graduate of Eustis High School, and I've worked in several production houses in the last decade, including Walt Disney Animation Studios and DreamWorks Animation. I have more than 20 film credits to my name and 2 Oscar nominations in science and technology this year. I currently work at a leading computer chip manufacturer. I had recess, and recess is absolutely a factor in my success. In today's society, social skills are critical to obtaining and maintaining any job, and especially so in the science and technology. In fact, I would not be here if it weren't for my social skills. I would not be hired at my jobs. PhDs are not enough. Over and over again, research has shown that imperative social skills are learned during unstructured recess. And this sounds familiar, but note I said unstructured. It's true, any type of exercise like PE can de-stress the body, but unstructured play, not PE, allows children to learn important communication skills, including negotiation, cooperation, sharing, problem solving, this sounds familiar, and critical coping skills such as perseverance and self-control. Some say there is not enough time in the school day for recess, but they are wrong. It is well known in psychology research that the human brain works in 90 to 110-minute cycles. At the end of that time, the brain needs a break chemically. This is an unavoidable fact. For the brain to rest, relax, and process the information, there must be an unstructured break. Trying to teach more, longer, and powering through will do no good because our children's brains aren't able to absorb any more information without a break. The brain simply does not work that way. If learning is important, then recess is important because without a break, the brain simply cannot retain the information. The policy of school-based management of recess has failed our children. Each school has a different policy, ranging from recess every day to no recess at all. At the Lake County Elementary where my 7-year-old son attends 3rd grade, the current policy for 3rd through 5th is completely up to the teachers who have no breaks in the day scheduled for recess. This false choice puts undue pressure on the teachers who know recess is important and leads to the principal saying, and I quote, "There will be no recess." She may as well say, "There will be no learning." I appear to have a little bit of extra time, and I jotted down some extra things.
Keep going until your beep goes off. Keep going.
After hearing what was discussed at last week's committee meeting addressing recess, it's clear to me that some people want to stall the discussion until after elections. Let me clear up some of the canards that were brought up at that meeting. First, definition. Recess is unstructured play. That's simple. Second, when? Every school day, at least 30 minutes a day. Last, no equipment or space. Those are the kind of questions that need to be figured out after a mandate. You don't get all the curriculum for something and then decide whether or not you're going to use it. You decide first and then get the tools. If the spaces have always been there like they were years ago when recess was common. If you need equipment, if the space has grass, throw some balls out there and some jump ropes. If the space is paved, then just put up a tetherball and hopscotch and foursquare areas. Let the kids play. Stop stalling and have a mandate for countywide recess for at least 30 minutes every day. Thank you.
As the three doctors have stated, everyone needs a recess, an unstructured break. We're going to take one of those. But first, what I need to tell you is that this building, this room, is over capacity. If you would be kind enough to find an empty seat, you cannot stand along the walls. We will be in trouble with the fire marshal. And if there's not a seat in here, it is showing out in the rotunda. If you could move there, we would appreciate that. I'm sorry for any inconvenience. The other thing is, I'm going to ask Mr. Walker if he can get the air conditioning down for us while we're on a 5-minute break. Thank you.